Welcome to Think Different podcast that fearlessly explores the intriguing intersection of sexual desires and mental health. In each episode, we navigate the complexity, joys, and challenges that arise when these two realms intertwine. From expert insights to personal stories, join us on a journey of self discovery and understanding the profound connection between our desires and mental well being. Let's dive into the conversation with openness, empathy, and a commitment to fostering a healthier dialogue around these essential aspects of human experiences. This is Think Different podcast, where we embrace the beautiful intersection of desire and mental health. How can an individual's sexual desires impact their overall mental well being?
All right, for that, like I said, I can speak from my personal experience and person that I've spoken with and persons that I grew up with. When I was growing up, that is when social media started to become a thing and the internet was becoming more accessible to persons. A lot of persons grew up with the mindset or a culture of being shunned of certain sexual desires that they may have had. And I've witnessed it lead to persons committing offenses because they wanted to experience certain things, and a lot of persons were sheltered. So, and then they go to school or they go to certain environments where they're exposed to persons who are a bit more experienced than they are, and listen to hear they speak about their sexual conquest or their sexual experiences. And this is how a lot of persons' mind got introduced to wanting to try certain things or have what we call sexual fantasies and watching too much porn. Porn can be damaging, but I guess that is a topic for another time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it can. But yeah, it messes with certain, especially what you'd say, what we'd call the shy guy then, who expose and mentally, he want to try this, she want to try this, but because their thing is, their exposure is so limited, it will put certain persons in a state of depression because they're saying that what makes this person better than I am, that they can get to experience this, but I can't get to experience this, and then certain societal norms shun certain sexual desires. So it makes you feel ashamed or embarrassed where certain people might find out or know that you've done this. Because remember, it's just basically for the past 2 or 3 years, oral sex has become acceptable for men. For men, not even say women, for men. Because back in the time you hear that, okay, a female did oral sex and gave a man a blowjob. Oh yeah, people talk about it 90 or wonder it gone, talk down, whatever. Everybody gone back to the norm. Because guess what? Men like it. And a lot of women secretly desire of wanting to please their man for it. The flip side of it now, a lot of men thought about trying oral sex with their woman. But the upper echelon set of people, what we call uptown people, they were more socially acceptable in that regard. So when an uptown man give female woman oral sex, I don't know. I don't know for them. I wasn't used to. But you see, when you come down now to the middle class, poorer class man, and like them say, ghetto is not a place, ghetto is a state of mind. You deal with a female from the inner city or the ghetto as people call it, and you say, all right, you try to please your woman because you love your woman. And this, for me, like I said, personal experience, I've witnessed where a man has, from the inner city, because I grew up in the inner city, much as they my born and grow, and I've witnessed where a man has given his woman oral sex, and when they are arguing, she used it as a weapon against him. And it basically belittled him in the community. Him not have no respect, no thought, no nothing him can't give nobody no chat. So that now put a lot of men now as well they would have called a lot of the men that are acting straight but secretly like men on the DL, on the down low.
Right.
they don't have a problem giving our pleasure in a woman in the department of oral sex, but because of the stigma that came with it, a lot of men shied away from doing it. And then when they do it, and then the woman come and publicly embarrass them, it put them in that state of depression, or it put them in that, whether it's a fight or flight mode, or they get so angry, you start to take it up on woman and become physical abuse. So now it's not just because you started abusing him mentally and verbally, he's reacting in a physical way. It's not a justification, but this is how a lot of men growing up back then were taught how to deal with their anger and their situation. And I know where mental health counseling has become more what would the term I want to use? More accessible. Right. Where you can pick up the phone and get a mental health caseworker, or you can go online and find somebody, or even, like I said, it has become more educated amongst people where mental health is concerned. So listen, yes, someone may not have born with a mental deficiency, but being told or being embarrassed or being put in certain situation can put a mental strain on person's mindset and put them in a frame of mind where they develop mental problems. That's my personal take on that.
Okay. Are there common misconceptions or stigmas surrounding the relationship between sexual desires and mental health?
Yes. And anybody says otherwise, even though I don't have scientific proof, anybody says otherwise are idiots. Because this is one thing is this. You open up a man or a woman to a particular lifestyle of sex. A man has lost his virginity early, never gotten a blowjob. Gotten involved in a relationship with a female where a lot of females actually get pleasure from giving their men blowjobs or performing oral sex. No, he's gotten so used to this, and if that relationship should end and he goes into another relationship, he is expecting you to live up to that. And whether we like it or not, our present or future partners look on their past relationships and on the good things that they enjoyed from a previous relationship, and they expect it from the present or future relationship. And when they are not getting it or are given the opportunity to get it or give it, you know what's going to happen? They are now going to become a very promiscuous person, start cheat, start be unfaithful in the relationship. And then you're going to say, oh, this man, this woman did get a threesome, so you feel like if you come get threesome, yes, or you suppose you feel like if you get a rim job, yes, or whatever, and then now you start go down this line of conversation where you go hear say, yeah, try to freak me out, or yeah, try for this, or yeah, try for it. So it comes like with the previous question. Yeah. With the number first question, that embarrassment, that mental abuse or that emotional abuse, or even the same societal norms. Because society plays a lot on people's mental health. Yeah. Society plays on these so-called societal norms play a lot on people's mental health. Because take for instance, autism. Some scientists believe that persons that were born with autism are actually smarter than persons who are so-called normal. Albert Einstein was autistic. A lot of people don't know this. And Albert Einstein was one of the greatest mathematicians. There is also this famous painter, I forgot. I think Jackson Pollock. I think he was also autistic. A lot of great mathematicians back in those centuries, they were autistic, but they weren't properly diagnosed until later on. People started doing research and realizing their behaviors and their mannerism and their so-called tics were signs of autism. It's like with Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome, you cannot control certain physical tics or certain verbal outbursts.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm. You have this singer called Louis Capaldi. He has Tourette syndrome. And sometimes you'll see him perform or watch his videos, his personal videos, where you see his head kind of twitches or his mouth or his eyes. It's part of his Tourette syndrome.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that the stigma that comes behind certain desires. All right, what are the newest thing now? Anal sex has become so basically what you call it, prevalent.
Yeah.
And a lot of men these days want to try it with their women, and a lot of females want to try it, but it is still frowned upon,
Yeah.
right? Make John Public or your best friend who is not into that hear about it or find out about it or somewhere it got out. You're now feeling some type of shame because society does not see this as the norm.
Yeah, it's tabooed.
Yes. So once once society doesn't view something that you might like as the norm, automatically now it puts you in a state of mental depression. Yeah, think about suicide, whatever way. Yes, you have some things right across the board. No certain society now gonna accept. I know personally I will never accept this as a norm. Pedophilia.
Right.
For me, I have sex with me if I go prison.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal view. But again, for some persons, they try to research and thought, oh, this person was born with this mental deficiency. That's no. I don't care what mental deficiency you want to have. It will not be acceptable in my eyes for you to have a big 25-year-old, 35-year-old having sex with a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old. No.
That's true.
That cannot be acceptable. No matter how you want paint the picture, no matter how you want hang the picture, turn it, flip it, that will never be acceptable. We are talking now about consenting adults.
Right.
Consenting adults. That's what we are taught. Those are societal norms. It can never be normal for an adult to be with a child.
Mm-hmm.
Even though in some cultures that is their culture, yes, that is your culture, I will respect it. Doesn't mean I have to accept it.
That's true. That's true.
That's where those two things tie in.
Yeah. In what ways can exploring and understanding one's sexual desires contribute to personal growth and self acceptance?
Again, growing up, I had a friend that I used to go to high school with. I will not call his name. He had a sister, and he liked girls. But back in 2003, 2004, it was not acceptable for a girl to be out in public with a girl. Unlike now. So he even presently, I know a lady works in a prominent advertising agency where she likes women. Women is where she's happiest. But because of her family and societal norm, she forces herself to be with men and it makes her unhappy.
Wow.
With my friend's sister, she forced herself to be with men and it made her unhappy to the point where she used to cut herself.
Oh wow.
As her way of therapy to dealing with it.
Wow.
And strangely enough, her brother was my best friend, but she opened up to me about it.
Mm.
And I had to find some way to talk to him because guess what? If you're going to consider somebody your best friend, Carissa, you're supposed to know what they're capable of.
That is true. Yeah.
And I know he was never the judgmental type, so I knew I could have spoken to him about it. Even though it was her brother, she never knew she could have. But I spoke to him about it and I said, listen, this is the situation with the sister. I asked me why she opened up to me. I don't know, but she did. How best can you guys, whatever? And they called a family meeting between him, her, the mother, and the father. The father, they kind of upset, but listen, it was either this or your daughter committing suicide.
Yeah.
Choose.
Yeah, that's true.
So once you if you don't accept who you are, how can you expect other people to accept you?
That's true.
So until you learn to accept who you are, you will not grow. Because you're basically stifling yourself to please others.
Definitely.
You understand? Yes. So you're going to all, no matter how further along mankind goes, you're going to always have people who will not accept the lifestyle that you live. But at the end of the day, you're the one living your life. And if you don't accept your life, how can you expect others to accept it? It's just like within traditional relationship of a man and a woman, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If that man or that woman don't love themselves, Carissa, how will you expect your partner to love you? Not even just that. You will not even know how to accept their love because you don't love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people out there saying, oh, they want a good man, they want a good woman, they want love. But a lot of them don't know what the love is. They don't know what form it is in because guess what? They were never given or shown love growing up, so they don't know how to love themselves. So when they're being given love as an adult in their relationship, they don't know how to accept it. And until one learns to accept themselves, they will not grow. And it's not only in relationship. It goes in your work relationship. It goes in friendship. It goes with family. Everything. Until you learn to accept certain things, you will not grow, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How does communication about sexual desires within relationships affect mental health dynamics?
In a relationship, you and your partner have to talk. Whether it be a traditional relationship, whether it be a gay relationship, whether it be a polygamy relationship, a polygyny relationship, communication is key. But this is where people has a misconception of communication. And it's just like when you're going to school. You can communicate all you want to someone, you know. But you see, if that person doesn't comprehend what you're communicating, you will not move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You will not move. You know why a lot of persons have problem with mathematics growing up in school? Because they don't understand the theory of mathematics.
Yeah, I think that's a common factor for real.
If you do, and it's the same with the English language. Everybody, oh, you have Mandarin, you have Spanish. The English language is one of the hardest languages to know.
Yeah, very complex because sometimes you put some words
Exactly.
together and like it that even sound
Yeah.
right.
Look at it. Has and has. HAS.
Right.
HAS is ownership. But enough people don't know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
There, and there. Here. You have here, which is basically like the royal family, are here to the throne.
Uh-huh.
So you're the child or the relative who is next in line to take over. You have the here, which is the rabbit. You have the here, which is the place.
Mm-hmm.
So until you comprehend what you're trying to get across to your partner, the dynamics are always going to be different because guess what? This is what makes human beings unique as they are.
That's
We
true.
are all different. The dynamics will never ever be the same. They may be within line or almost together, but they will never be the same. Because even in a polygamy relationship or a sooner relationship, yes, you're okay with, all right, 2 wives, 1 husband. But what is the true meaning of polygamy, a polygamous relationship? Some people now they look at polygamy relationship as a way of somebody getting a regular threesome. That is not the origin of polygamy. Because you can have a polygamous relationship and the females never ever touch each other physically like that in a sexual manner.
Uh-huh.
The reason behind polygamy relationship back in the day, from what I've read, is to grow and build your family. That is it. Not about threesome or these sexual desires, but because a lot of persons are not doing proper research,
Right.
the dynamics are going to be different. And in a polygamy relationship, it can't be that, the 2 females only attracted to the man. The 2 females have to be attracted to each other too. And when I say attraction, it doesn't only speak to sexual, and it's not, attraction is not only a sexual term, but people sexualize most words and most things these days. You can be attracted to somebody's personality, somebody's mindset of a way to lead, somebody's contribution of how to build a business. That can be attractive because guess what? You are learning from it.
Yeah.
But people just are jumping into things and not trying to comprehend what is going on. If you're not comprehending, you are going to fall and you are going to fail. Simplest analogy. You go to a party.
Mm-hmm.
You try to have a good time, but you don't want to have a hangover. If you don't understand how much liquor your body can manage, you know what happen. You're going to have vomit for yourself and embarrass yourself, and the next day you're sick.
True.
Your body burns alcohol based on your BMI and how your body metabolizes things.
Mm-hmm. It can be poison you too.
Exactly. Because your body now metabolize the alcohol and burn it out, so you're drinking liquor on top of liquor and everything just a pile on upon each other and it's not filtering.
Mm-hmm.
So if your metabolism now burn it off, same with food, it's going just a pile on and you put on weight. So the alcohol is just a drink it and you just going to feel sick.
Yeah.
So you see how the dynamics work out? You have to understand what you do. If you don't understand what you do, trust me, you can't expect anybody else to understand you. You yourself don't understand. So all you expect to explain it to somebody when you don't understand it.
Yes, that is true.
Because I'm in another country. I interact with Hispanics on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them we communicate via text message, and how they word their statements and their sentences shows me that they learned English to speak it, but they don't fully comprehend what they're saying. Because I've had a conversation with a particular Hispanic female, and she's saying sitting, but she's spelling it as seating. And we are trying to understand. I said to her, I said, do you understand that you're saying seating? And she said, yes, he's sitting there. But I'm saying, no, that is seating. Sitting is spelled different.
Yeah.
And in a fair comprehension, that is what it tells her. Seating means sitting.
Oh.
So she said, I am seating here. No, that's the word you're looking for is sitting. So they know the English, but they don't comprehend it.
Mm-hmm.
And that will bring about confusion, which brings about chaos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Are there any interventions that incorporate the exploration of sexual desires to promote mental well-being?
That one is a tricky one.
Yes.
It's a
Yes,
very
yes,
tricky one
yes.
because even while doing my online business of adult toys, it's how I've learned a lot from speaking with people, interacting with a lot of different background, different dynamics of people. Is this you have some persons that they're sexual addicts, just like how you have drug addicts. You have some persons that are porn addicted, they can't go a day without having sex.
Yeah.
And if you try and intervene and break it, it is very hard because for them, it does something for them that nothing else does. Right? So that one day, it tricky. Not gonna, that one day very, very tricky. So it all boils down to the individual.
Uh-huh.
It all boils down to the individual, their environment, and who is around them. Because you can be a sex addict but still have a healthy sex life.
True.
But you have to find somebody to match the energy there.
True.
If who you're with, your partner doesn't match that energy, again, different dynamics. The fluidity are gonna create problems.
True. That's
I don't
true.
know if my answer that clear enough for you understand, but the best that we can
Yeah.
answer that one there.
No, that is true. That's clear enough. How can individuals navigate the balance between honoring their own desires and respecting the boundaries of others in intimate relationships?
All right, is it basically all of this comes down to what we just said a while ago.
Uh-huh.
Communication, comprehension. In my personal opinion, from my personal experiences and my personal mistakes with relationships,
Yeah.
three things I view that makes a relationship, and it makes for me, I think it makes any relationship work, whether it be family, intimate, work related. Communication.
Right.
When you communicate what you want, what you are about, the person you're communicating it to, and letting them comprehend what you're communicating,
Right.
they will know what you're about. And once they know what you're about, the second thing is respect.
True.
They will respect you enough to give and take. What old time people are where people say give and take, but the word is compromise.
Yeah.
But you have to know what you're willing to compromise on without compromising yourself or compromising what you believe in or your moral standing.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have those three things, you can make it work.
True. Can cultural or religious backgrounds impact how individuals perceive and express their sexual desires, and how does this influence mental health?
Yes, it can. And from what I've read and what I've seen, if you're a firm believer in a particular religion or faith and your partner isn't, some persons tend to struggle between standing firm and pleasing their faith and pleasing their partners. And that's where you have the Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde side.
Uh-huh.
You have fight, you have struggle whether you maintain a relationship with whatever God you believe in, or whether Buddha, Allah, God, whoever it is you worship, and the partner that you're with. So, and this is where now we come back to the question where you just asked me, and my answer: communicate, comprehend, respect, compromise. Because guess what, go on. Let's say let's say not just singling out anybody, but let's say a Muslim female, they would have what we call worldly and man then.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a Christian, whatever. I'm not Muslim, no. but she loves this man. She wants this relationship. But at the end of the day, for you to be in love with somebody and love someone, you had to give them a reason or give them something to love.
Right.
So if this man or this, even if the roles were reversed, the man that did Muslim and the woman wasn't, or the woman a worldly, if you respect your partner, you will understand that, listen, there are boundaries. And if you want to keep this partner, you have to respect those boundaries. Right. Just like you expect them to respect yours.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, one or both are going to struggle. And it is going to cause a breakdown.
True, that is true.
It is going to cause a... People think that breakups don't... Listen, breakups, any kind of breakup, would I be a friendship betrayal, partnership betrayal and breakup, it affects you mentally. When it affects you mentally, you start to stress, and that stress can affect you physically. Mm-hmm. And not everybody can manage certain things. Not everybody can manage certain stress or certain debilitating mental breakdown. But even recently at my job, there was this guy that we were working with. Like myself, very cool and calm and collective. Really, no one has ever seen this man angry. But he has been dealing with a lot of personal things that nobody knew about.
Right.
And he came to work one day and somebody did something and that man snapped.
Wow.
Threw raiders at co-workers, threw chairs at co-workers, start cussing out everybody. 33 years with the company.
Wow.
And just like that, in an hour, investigations found out that he was going through a divorce.
That's true. What advice do you have for fostering a healthy relationship with one's sexual desires, promoting positive mental health outcome?
Nah, we can't stress it enough. Communicate. And if you have a problem, seek help. But first you have to admit and know that yourself say you have a problem. Because if you live in denial, that problem is only going to get worse.
True.
Both men and women have to throw this stigma out the door that if you go seek counseling, oh, you're a madman or you're a mad woman. No. That is just an old-time backwards country days culture where we need to come from. And it's not, and that kind of behavior and culture is not just limited to Jamaica.
Right.
That type of behavior has been basically right around the world because, especially towards men, you notice suicide. You have more suicide is more men than women.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Society has said and taught men that if you tell yourself that you go to counseling or need help, you're soft and you're weak. I think you're soft and you're weak when you think you can do everything on your own. Mm-hmm. We all need help in one way or the other from somebody. We all need help.
That's true.
And until we can accept that within ourselves and know, so listen, we have a problem of communication. Because you can be with your partner and still not know how to express yourself, but you can express it to a complete stranger. And I guess this is where they come in with couples counseling, because guess what? We can't talk to the counselor because the counselor can't properly articulate what I'm trying to say to my partner, but I can, because you can feel something, you don't know how to put it into words. And you can say to somebody else what you are saying, they can understand you, but your partner doesn't, and that person can articulate what you're saying back to your partner. Mm-hmm. So your partner can understand what you're trying to say. So communicate, you need help, seek it. Seek it. Don't sit down and say, oh, I'm a man, we can't deal with this man. No, I'm not everything we can deal with. Because life don't come with a manual.
Sure.
Life don't come with a manual. I tell people, say my first real role model was my grandfather. Sometimes we have this meme that I saw on Facebook. for the past 10 years. And anytime I change phone or transfer, I try and make sure I have that name there. Where is this bench in our park? And it said, if you could sit here with sit here for an hour with somebody to speak with, who would you choose? And I will forever choose my grandfather. That man taught me early what it is to be a man. We could have always talked to that man there. As early as 10. And if I could have bring him up, but I love to bring him back to make him see the road that I walk when I accomplish. I mean, no one heap of mistakes I'm making in life. If he was alive, he would have been there to set me straight early.
Uh-huh.
But then again, you have to make mistakes in life to grow.
Yeah.
This is how we learn. Because like I said, life don't come with a manual. And I'm sure before my time when he did grow up, I never asked him when I was younger or when he was alive, who was his role model. Somebody was there to teach him something or in making mistakes them to learn, so he could have teach we.
True.
I tell my brother with their father, sometimes he will call me between him and his baby mother. If him talk to me about something with she, me not say it back to she. And if she talk to me about something about him, me not say it back to him. As much as I'm my brother. Because guess what? She felt comfortable that she could confide in me.
Right.
So if she not say to me, say, boy, Jay, talk to him. Me not say nothing to him. I will speak to him to say, yo, what go on? Then I will give him my advice based on what he has told me and what she has told me.
Right.
But me now go say, yo, this is what she said to me.
Uh-huh.
The last time me and them talk, me said to them, so listen. Some of the times it's best not to get persons close to you involved in a relationship. Because guess what? Not everybody is going to view things like how I view things, Carissa. Because the thing is this. Yeah, you come to me as your brother. But not everybody are going to split justice. Because guess what, go on? You are your spouse to fight or have an argument. You run to your family. You know what go on? That is not going to bring or build a wedge between your family and your spouse. And when you and your spouse make up and you forgive your spouse, the family don't forgive your spouse. They don't know how family get together, you can cut the tension with a knife. Because everybody knows, say, yo, go on, he or she did violate this person, and everybody begs and feel a way about it. But you and your partner talk and fix it.
So thanks for partaking in this interview. I appreciate that you could have participated and give your insights on the topic sexual desires and mental health.
Yes, ma'am.